Hey, I just thought I might come out of this, make one more few minutes of a video. Uh, Yeah, Braves. I watched them today a little bit. They didn't lose nowhere near as bad as they did the other night, but we still lost 3-1. But uh, we didn't do too bad. I mean, could have been worse. You know, uh, amazes you when you go back and look at all those years. We won all those division titles. That one we won last year kind of put that to bed, and at least if, and John Smoltz and the rest of them that played that time, they can now look at this and be like, man, I can come here now after another championship flag, hanging up in a banner. And it kind of make everybody, winning 95 feel a little better that they got something else they can be proud of, and they did a real classy thing for Bobby Cox and then give him a ring and stuff. They didn't have to, but that's you know Brian. I always uh, his last name kind of sounds like one of these little Snicker bars, but but yeah, I don't know if anybody ever thought of that. Um, but it. Yeah, he. I reckon he'd worked. Or did some work when Bobby Cox was managing and everything. So he showed a video of him going to Bobby Cox's house and delivering the ring to him. I guess they had a camera crew with them or something, but yeah, and just uh, pretty well been doing the same old stuff. Uh, just having same old routines. Um, Wife went to church tonight and had uh, and she tell me about one of these people text her today. Of course, I always look at all these people. I don't know. I told my wife I didn't have this problem not long ago. This so long ago. Prior to 4 or 5 years ago, we met one of them off of Facebook and all that. And, you know, that was different then. Getting somebody to be that straight up and be that honest. But first time I ever, oh, you just typed me this thing back, like for some freaking reason. But I mean, they didn't. This person didn't bug me as bad as a lot of people do. Usually they'll, oh, here, send you another one, and they're trying because most time they're looking for a way out, and if they don't get you that way, oh, they'll talk about anything from a money thing to some type of all these apps. It's got all this junk on it. So I don't know. As I said, I'd hope, but I just my wife's learned since a year ago. You got to ask the hard questions, so she ain't let me down there. No. But and that's what would have to happen. I mean, I can't have myself repeat that. No. We try to do something nice, and then when a fella looks at it, and I went back and rewind that all that time back, and it did. It started out okay, But, my wife apparently didn't spend enough time talking to this person on that Facebook, and she kind of pulled wool over my wife's eyes. And that's kind of what bites you in your own ass. It bite me in my ass if I didn't, you know. I used to, when I was on them things, and they were the Moco Spaces or whatever they were called. And, it wasn't Facebook. It certainly wasn't anything, Instagram. I'll check them. I'll check Twitter a time or two. But no, when I was doing it, when I was, single, I got stuff to come to my house. I got a few people off there, and I can't state it enough. But these same people are about 10 years older now. They're not here probably. They're doing their own thing. Well, now 10, 12 years later, it's different ones, different places. I get. I get most of them, like I tell my wife earlier, it's not going to be some church clown or some freaking person that comes out here dressed as like a fucking god or something with a goddamn robe on. It's going to probably have to be somebody that's a little more like the Sonny and Sable type. The divas. Because I can't see anybody else taking this off. I understand where it came from, and we ain't had necessarily the ones that, the one or two that we had come down here, weren't necessarily the, I'm just going to close myself up type, but, it's either somebody already had something going and something already started up in the pot. So he's going to lose anyway. So, all I can say is, as long as it's got this computer, might as well try. There's no guarantees, but it's there. You might as well try and get some use out of it. And then, if I ever meet somebody out here, like she's seen one the other day, and just come out of nowhere, but she knows the red flag system has, we have to have something. That's kind of like our protection, man. And because, you just can't, because it's going to take a lot. It's going to take, we want out of here. If we want out of here, you got to have some place to go. And, that above anything else, that's how you're going to know you got somebody when they're willing to have, that be something they're interested in and can help you with. Because if not, me and my wife not gonna be able to do it, because we can't have anybody live here. And to my knowledge, my wife doesn't know anybody. I certainly don't know anybody that would be available. I never have. My wife's been with me 11 years. I just came up with this idea 4 or 5 years ago. So it wasn't something just, first night or two. My wife had a few people, but she had them all over the place, and they didn't have their own stuff going, and their own cars and stuff. And it's a little bumpy. And, I one of them I finally got straightened out. And now they finally see their error, their ways. But I had to tell one of them's brother about the stuff I was trying to get through it, and say it. I said, if you don't step in there, she ain't gonna make it. But I've had my dealings with stuff like that, or just in general. We don't have to do anything to get somebody to offer any little small stuff. I just can't see that working. I can't do it. It's too, like I said, it restricts me more than probably my wife. My wife is probably okay to a degree, but me, it really, restricts me because most time you can tell. I mean, I can. You know, they start kind of just acting like they've got things they want you to do. They want you to do this a certain way. I kind of want me and my wife to be able to do like what we do to each other. I want to have some type of something where I don't feel like me and her just sitting in here and all bunched up. And I told her I don't want to have to sit here and look at these people. If I want to look at somebody, goddamn, I'll watch fucking TV. I'll go back and watch them movies on there or something. Good Lord, that's boring. You're just staring at somebody from far. And then they don't have half your shit in common. So you can't really do anything there. So again, it's just going to be something where it's got to be right. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know if there is that out there or not. I can't say. You know, my wife sometimes she gets in your mind, well, it's all happened now. It's all I can't say. I wish it would. But again, there's no places of really anything to go to. There's no, those type of places where I could shine, my wife could shine and show off one of our couple of talents that we do have. But those kind of places don't exist here. Now, I don't have time to look around Athens and Chattanooga and all that stuff to see what's in there. I don't have that kind of money to do. There's a lot of this stuff. Like I said, we've got everything set up as far as our stuff, our money, and our bills get paid. Everything's. I mean, like I said, if I drew the perfect person up, this stuff wouldn't be brought up. ID pictures wouldn't be taken. No code mess would be asked for. I know every time I saw my wife do it, well, go. Every time these people, they have a bad habit. And I wouldn't hate it so bad if it were a cop. I could understand that. Or going to, somewhere to get your check cashed or something, they'll ask for an ID, picture of your ID there. You got your ID. But these people act like they're goddamn cops. And it bothers the fuck out of me. Like, why the fuck would we take a picture of our ID? We don't ask you for yours. Why are you texting us and asking for our IDs? It just sounds stupid. And then they make up excuses. Oh, I want to know if you're real or not. Well, then why the hell are you texting me if you don't think I'm who I am? Like I said, I'll give anybody a chance. And I'll play along and I'll figure it out myself. I don't need to ask for codes. I don't need to send codes to people's phones and say, hey, you're going to be getting this code. You text it back. I don't need to do that game. I don't need to do the ID picture game. I don't need to do any of it. I'll know in a few minutes, any person. I'll know if they are who they are, and trust me, that's one thing I am good at. So, no, I know every time when that starts, I know that's a bad sign. I mean, like I said, if you're going to find somebody, they're going to not ask you for those things. Yes, in time, do you eventually cross that somewhere in time? Yeah. You might do it in the first night you see them, but they're not going to be like, hey, where's your ID at? Right? If you're going to the store and you got to go get something and you're looking for food stamp cards or something. But every time my wife gives them one of these pictures, it always throws up a red flag for me because if we're not asking for theirs, they shouldn't ask for ours. I mean, I understand some people could fake out who they are and put pictures up. Me and my wife's not like that. I mean, you ought to want to figure it out yourself. You know, if somebody fakes you out, they fake you out. I mean, somebody who would answer any question you had. If you didn't believe who I was and you wanted to find out for yourself and you'd been texting me, whoever you might be out there, if there's somebody texting near my wife, well, fucking call us. You know, anybody who's ever texted, I would say, if you don't believe me, you can call us up on our phone. And actually, on that basis right there, we don't even have to text you back. We don't even have to call you. You can send a voice text if you wanted to. You know, because it wouldn't be that much difference. A phone call wasted. It just be you can just do a voice text. So again, that's just kind of where I'm at with it, and that's like I don't know how many now. But again, I told my wife it may happen a lot till that one comes. It ain't gonna be two or three. It's only gonna be one. So when somebody gets real serious, well, obviously we'll know. I mean, closest we got was Kerry Walker and the one we had up here from last year. But had we, we just got to do. We just got to keep trucking and hoping maybe tomorrow be another day. Maybe you know, maybe late tonight there might be somebody else. We seem like every time we got get these we've got these phones now, and it seems like every time we turn around there's somebody calling and doing something. So anyway, I don't know. Do you want to put out something, honey? Okay, she's not gonna put. Okay. So anyway, I'm just gonna make a short video about her day and a couple of things we talked about. So anyway, hopefully we'll see how we do tomorrow. All right. Good night.